Caitlin Clark is a photographer now, it seems. Shout out to the new Fever admin, doing a much better job than the last Fever admin. Unless it's the same person who suddenly got better at their job. This is obviously the Fever posting this specific one. But yeah, Tyrese Halliburton looking... Tyrese Halliburton looking over and seeing Kane. He's like, oh, really? Really?
So here's the moment that had the entire internet buzzing, and trust me, it's way bigger than it looks. Caitlin Clark sitting courtside at a Lakers vs Pacers game, not just watching, but holding a professional camera like she belongs there, snapping photos like media, and people thought it was just a fun little off-season thing, right? Wrong. Because what if I told you this wasn't random at all? What if this was a calculated move that just exposed how every NBA and WNBA team should be operating? Think about it. She's got branded camera gear with her own jewelry logo. She's standing on the baseline where real photographers grind for months just to get access. And even Tyrese Halliburton is looking.
Clark. The Pacers are letting her take pictures on the sideline, but apparently you if you're going to do what she's doing, you have to wear the vest, which is hilarious. And if you guys agree this is cool, subscribe. We are trying to hit... Well, we were trying to hit 57,800 by the end of the day. We're not going to do that. We have currently lost 8 subscribers in the last hour. We can get to 57,775.
Now look closer, because this is where it gets really interesting. She's not just holding any camera, she's got branded equipment with her own logo on it. She's standing right there on the baseline where credentialed photographers usually sit, the kind of access people wait months to get approved for, and even Tyrese Halliburton is glancing over like he can't believe what he's seeing, and that should make you ask the obvious question. How did she get that level of access so easily? Because this isn't just showing up to a game, this is being placed inside the experience, and then the Pacers take it even further. They blast it across social media like she's one of the main attractions of the night, even though LeBron James is literally playing in the same game. So now you have to ask yourself, when was the last time a non-NBA player got that kind of spotlight during a Lakers game? Exactly. Almost never.
The NBA had changed their logo. I thought it was an NBA logo. Or changed their Twitter picture. That being said, like, it is a very, very big thing. It is a very big thing seeing seeing Caitlin Clark and seeing, the NBA still pushing Caitlin Clark, which is really important. That is a really important thing. I was going to see the actual NBA page. Can we see the actual...
And here's where things go from interesting to shocking. The NBA's official accounts are posting about it, international pages are posting about it, even major Lakers fan pages are talking about Caitlin Clark being there. And just pause for a second and really think about that. The Lakers are one of the biggest brands in sports history. They don't need to talk about anyone else, especially not an opposing team's player. So why her? Why now? Because this isn't just hype. This is crossover power. And that's something very few athletes ever reach. This is the kind of attention that breaks team boundaries, that pulls in fans who normally wouldn't care. And once you realize that, the whole situation starts to look completely different. This wasn't just visibility, this was positioning.
Which is good to see, and yes, the Lakers are up 22 points. And Luka Doncic has 21 points in 12 minutes. Fucking hell. That man is a joke. That man is a joke, I'm not gonna lie. He's a joke. But Caitlin Clark obviously getting to see the player. She says she models her game on with is that a bag? Or is that something for photographers to like sit on? Branded with Caitlin Clark jewels. That's kind of cool. That is kind of cool.
Now let's dig deeper, because this is where Indiana separates itself from everyone else. And it all starts with ownership. Herb Simon owns both the Pacers and the Fever, same city, same arena, same system. But here's the twist. Other teams have that too, right? Suns and Mercury, Nets and Liberty, Wizards and Mystics. So why don't they look like this? Why don't they feel connected like Indiana does? Because here's the truth nobody wants to say, it's not about sharing a building, it's about sharing value. And Indiana is one of the only organizations treating both teams like they actually matter equally. And once you do that, everything changes. Marketing changes, fan perception changes, and most importantly, player confidence changes.
It's a very all-around interesting thing, and I think it's cool. I think it's just cool. It's cool in general, seeing Caitlin Clark be in this position. It's cool that the Pacers, I do feel like the Pacers are doing it well, because I said this from the start, is they are the one team, in my opinion, that treat their WNBA team as equals. As in, not even as equals, as in like Indiana, it's the one where it's like the WNBA and the NBA team both sell out arenas. Like when the Pacers were in...
And if you still think this is just hype, here's the reality check. Indiana is one of the only markets where the WNBA team is pulling crowds that rival the NBA team, and that should make you stop right there. Because that's not normal. In most cities, the NBA dominates everything and the WNBA fights for attention. But in Indiana, it's different. Women's basketball is deeply rooted in the culture, from high school all the way up, and legends like Tamika Catchings built that foundation, and now, Caitlin Clark is stepping into something even bigger. And here's the scary part. She might take it to a level nobody expected.
Link, where you're seeing the players like actually show up to Fever games. You're seeing there be a link, and it does help as well that Herb Simon owns both the teams. I'm surprised there's not more maybe between the Liberty and stuff, but at the same time, quite a lot of Fever players stay in market during the off season. That's something else as well, is that it seems like as well, it seems the Pacers players, some of them stay in market. It seems a few of the Fever players are staying in market, and that's a big one. Like that is an important thing to see from that perspective, and I do.
Now watch how the Pacers are using that momentum, because this is where strategy turns into dominance. They're not just acknowledging the Fever, they're actively integrating them into everything they do. Players show up to each other's games, social media overlaps, fans are constantly seeing both teams together, and suddenly, it doesn't feel like two separate organizations anymore. It feels like one connected brand, and guess what? It's working. The Fever just had one of the highest attendance seasons in WNBA history, with crowds hitting over 20,000 fans. And now you have to ask yourself, how many other teams could do that if they actually tried?
Or that Herb Simon's got the Fever linking with the NBA team, and obviously, look, none of this happens without Caitlin Clark. Like, yes, there was a time when in Indiana where women's basketball was huge. Yes, Tamika Catchings played for the Indiana Fever. No question about that. Like, Caitlin Clark's got a lot to do. And by a lot to do, she's got to win a title. She's got to win a title to be the best player in Indiana Fever history. Like, you've got to overtake Tamika Catchings. And it's going to be hard to do if the front office stays borderline competent. They posted a thing today being like, was it like a happy birthday? Or was it happy birthday?
But here's something even more surprising. And this is where it really tells you everything about the culture being built. Fever players are actually staying in Indianapolis during the offseason, and if you know the WNBA, you know how rare that is. Most players leave immediately to play overseas or save money, but now something is changing. Players actually want to stay, and that raises a big question. What are the Pacers and Fever doing differently that makes players feel that way? Because this isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about environment, respect, and long-term vision. And when players feel valued year-round, not just during the season, everything about their performance changes.
This is like, you have a scout? What, this is news? This is news to all of us. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. But I do have to say that the Pacers are doing a good job. I think the Pacers are doing a really, really good job in general with how they're promoting the Fever. And I don't even know if is it just Pacers? What is the total? Well, I don't even know. There's like a blanket name for all of them. I don't know what, but it's like whatever the ownership is like.
Now compare that to other organizations, and the gap becomes impossible to ignore. Look at Phoenix under Matt Ishbia, with stars like Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi. On paper, that should be a powerhouse setup, right? So where's the crossover? Where's the shared energy? Where's the connection? Because you don't see Suns players consistently supporting Mercury games, you don't see that same integrated marketing, and that's the difference. It feels like two separate worlds instead of one unified brand, and in today's sports landscape, that's a massive missed opportunity.
Again, with the Mystics and the Wizards are different owners. The Nets and the Nets are the same owners as the Liberty. Maybe you'll see it more. And to be fair, Pods was the unofficial mascot in the Valkyries last year. But Pods' reputation's gone down so bad that if he tries to do the shit that he did last year with the Valks, people are just going to have none of it. People were already having none of it last year. People are definitely going to have none of it this year. But clearly leading the way in terms of that are the Indiana franchises. So yeah, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think.
And here's why all of this matters more than ever. Because the WNBA is entering a critical growth phase right now, with new media deals, expansion teams, rising valuations, and more attention than ever before. And the question every organization should be asking is simple. How do we sustain this growth? And Indiana just gave everyone the blueprint. Integrate your teams, invest in marketing, build real connections, and treat your stars like they actually matter. And that last part might be the most important of all. Because when Caitlin Clark gets baseline access at an NBA game, that's not just content. That's a statement. And when players feel like they matter, they start performing like they matter. And that's exactly what we're seeing with the Fever's rapid rise. But here's the real challenge. Can they sustain it? Can they build a championship team? Because passing someone like Tamika Catchings isn't easy. That takes titles, MVPs, legacy, and that only happens if the front office makes the right moves. And now the final question becomes unavoidable. Will other teams learn from Indiana, or will they keep falling behind while this model takes over the league? Because one thing is clear. Caitlin Clark sitting courtside with a camera wasn't just a moment. It was a message, and not everyone is ready for what it means.